You're drinking 3 liters of water a day, yet your brain is clinically dehydrated. Mainstream health advice equates hydration with the sheer volume of plain water you consume. You are told to carry a gallon jug and drink constantly. This is a profound biological misunderstanding. Your brain does not operate on water pressure. It operates on electricity. Your cognitive bandwidth, your ability to focus, and your processing speed are strictly governed by the rapid firing of electrical impulses. When you flood your biological system with plain, unmineralized water, you are not hydrating your brain. You are creating a state of clinical hypoosmolarity. By continuously flushing your kidneys with zero mineral water, you're actively washing out the exact biological material required for your neurons to communicate. Without these minerals, you are electrically compromised. To understand this mechanical failure, we must look at the cellular level. Every single neuron in your brain relies on a microscopic biological engine. It is called the sodium-potassium pump. For a neuron to fire a single thought, it must maintain a precise resting membrane potential of -70 millivolts. To achieve this, it must physically push 3 sodium ions out of the cell membrane and pull 2 potassium ions in. This creates an electrical gradient, a tightly coiled stored charge ready to fire an action potential down the axon. This process is so critical to human survival that your brain spends over 20% of its entire daily energy budget just operating these pumps. But these cellular engines require raw, physical materials. When you restrict your dietary salt intake because society told you sodium is inherently dangerous, and then you dilute your remaining bloodstream with plain water, you literally starve these pumps. The electrical gradient collapses. Your action potentials weaken. Your neurons physically misfire. This is not midday fatigue. This is an ionic bottleneck. The destruction of your deep work capacity goes deeper than just electrical failure. It triggers a violent biological process. This is known as the osmotic shift. The fundamental law of biology is that water always follows salt. When you dilute the blood plasma surrounding your cells, the sodium concentration inside your cells becomes artificially higher than the plasma outside. To balance this gradient, water violently rushes through the aquaporin channels into your brain cells. Your neurons physically swell. Because your brain is encased in a rigid skull, this microswelling, clinically known as cellular edema, creates constant intracranial pressure. It manifests as dull tension headaches, a heavy lethargy behind the eyes, and a severe inability to process complex information. Your biological hardware is literally drowning itself to maintain homeostasis. You can't fix this swelling by drinking more plain water. That will only accelerate the dilution. You can only fix this by aggressively re-engineering your mineral architecture to restore osmotic balance. To mathematically guarantee high-frequency neural output and terminate cellular edema, you must execute the High-Conductivity Protocol. First, terminate all consumption of commercial sports drinks. They are heavily concentrated sugar vectors masquerading as hydration, designed to spike your insulin, crash your blood glucose, and trigger further dehydration. Second, execute the waking bolt. During 8 hours of sleep, your metabolic processes heavily deplete your plasma volume. Immediately upon waking, before caffeine, before cognitive output, you will consume a minimum of 400 to 500 milligrams of high-quality sodium mixed with water. You must instantly reestablish the electrical gradient that was depleted during sleep. Third, you must balance the pump. Sodium is useless without its intracellular counterpart. You must aggressively integrate potassium and magnesium into your baseline diet. Without potassium, the pump cannot complete its cycle. Without magnesium, the ATP energy cannot be synthesized. Ensure these cellular gateways can open and close with zero latency. Stop viewing hydration as a simple volume metric of liquid intake. View it as the electrical grid that powers your biological hardware. No minerals. No bandwidth. You have now secured your sleep architecture, eliminated your gut inflammation, and fully restored your electrical conductivity. Your biological hardware is now fully optimized for elite cognitive output, but your actual behavior is still being controlled by a chemical you do not understand. Your inability to focus on hard tasks is not a lack of discipline. It is a hijacked reward system. Click here to discover the brutal clinical reality of dopamine and learn exactly how your daily environment is mathematically engineering you to fail.